by Senator Jim Hughes, Franklin County Prosecuting Attorney Ron O'Brien, and Dr. Deanna Wilkinson, who is right there. The job of the Attorney General is to work every day to protect Ohio families. Too many of our families, too many of our communities are being torn apart by gun violence every single day in this state. This story was in yesterday's Columbus Dispatch. Very, very disturbing story. 13 and 14-year-olds who've been charged with the murder of a 43-year-old victim. 43-year-old victim who's the father of 5 children, and the youngest of whom was 6 months old. There are headlines like this every week in different papers across the state of Ohio. In 2011, the Columbus Dispatch did a series on gun violence. Other newspapers across the state have run stories, and in some cases series on the same issue. It's certainly not a problem that is unique to Columbus. It is in every major city across the state. This headline from one of the stories, May 30th, 2011, kind of summarizes the problem. Shoot, go to jail, then get out of jail, and shoot again. This, to me, summarizes the problem that we are facing in this state. Shortly after this series ran, I put together the Ohio Attorney General's Violent Crimes with Guns Advisory Group. These were individuals from throughout the state, from law enforcement, prosecuting attorneys, other individuals who had experience in dealing with this problem. This group worked very hard. It worked for over a year. One of the things that we wanted to do is to make sure this group that had a lot of practical experience in dealing with this problem also had data, and that the decisions and recommendations of this group would be driven by real evidence, real data, real statistics. We asked Dr. Deanna Wilkinson from Ohio State, who has done research in the past, who is an expert in this field, to help us with this analysis. Dr. Wilkinson is here. She'll be able to answer any questions that anyone has at the end. She went back from 1974 through 2010 and did a study. And that study actually, some of you may have already received, but we have copies here if anyone wants to take a summary home with them. Went back and took statistics from DRC. DRC was very helpful and very cooperative to give us their statistics. Also, these statistics were taken from BCI's records, and went back and studied. And I'm going to give you just some of the, I think, highlights of this. And again, these figures are contained in the report. But in that period of time, there were 230,288 convictions for violent crimes, individuals who were convicted of violent crimes. 230,288. That represents about 2.62% of Ohio's current Ohio adult population. Of that group, there's a subset. 80,274 of those same individuals committed 2 or more violent crimes. That's 0.91% of Ohio's population. Breaking it down even further, 31,278,000 of that total committed 3 or more violent crimes. And I will note that when we say violent crimes, 3 or more, we're talking about different incidents. We're not talking about some case where someone walks in and kills 2 people or kills 3 people. We count that as 1. So we're talking about in time separate actual incidents. That 31,278 who committed 3 or more violent crimes represents about 1/3 of 1%, 0.36% of Ohio population. And to take it further, there was 15,252 individuals who committed 4 or more violent crimes. That constitutes 0.17 of 1% of Ohio population. These 2 charts summarize where we are with the two or more. You have less than 1% of Ohio population. Less than 1% of Ohio population commits 57% of the violent crime in the state. That is a very telling figure. It is consistent with the experience of every detective, every person in law enforcement who deals with violent crime every day. Every prosecuting attorney knows intuitively that this is true, because we know that there's a handful of people who commit the vast majority of the violent crimes.